Okay guys, so today is going to be a doozy. We're going to talk about an aggressive launch strategy to rank to #1. Now there is some disclaimers for this as well as some stipulations, but either way, I think anybody could benefit from this to learn the ins and outs of kind of the strategy, the thinking of how Amazon's algorithm works, kind of in the broad sense of, breaking it down in simple terms. So regardless of what you do to rank, you can kind of understand like what's the driving force around ranking on Amazon. Now for my aggressive folks out here, this is going to be your bread and butter. This is something I've done over and over again when the budget's allowed it, when I've planned this, right? It's very important to plan this and execute it perfectly, or you can have a lot of waste. So if you're a note taker, this is where you break out your pencil and paper, as well as you might want to save this video, come back to it later, because what we're talking about, some of these topics won't be obvious at first, okay? It might take a little bit more digging around, maybe some comments in the YouTube section, maybe watching a few of my other videos. So I want you to come back to this video and kind of digest it slowly like you would anything else that you're trying to master, okay? So just want you to be prepared that this is a little bit more advanced, but even as a beginner, this will give you some insight of how this whole thing works, right? This is the extreme version. We're over here, and your launch strategy might land somewhere around here, okay? If it lands here, you're still gonna be using some aspects of the extreme strategy. So this is good for everybody. Let's just go hop into it and get after it. Okay, so what we're talking about here is an aggressive Amazon FBA launch strategy ranked #1 by brute force. All right, so who is this for? All right, so a little disclaimer here, okay? This is not for the lighthearted. It feels terrible, okay? And I'll explain why as we go through, but it's not gonna feel good because you're gonna be draining a lot of money very quickly, but the goal is to get to the top spots, make profit very quickly, okay? So it's kind of a bang bang type play. Next, not for someone who spent their whole budget on this product or their first product and doesn't have the cash flow from a 9-to-5 or somewhere else. This is a bit riskier, right? If we're going aggressive, it's always going to be a little bit riskier. So this complete strategy is only for someone who can back it up with budget as well as has a fallback plan and just wants to get there quickly, right? So maybe in your situation, money's not the issue, it's time. Okay, you want to get there fast. This would be a perfect strategy for you. Even if you don't have the budget, don't want to back it up, this video will still give you some insights of other things you could be doing to kind of take the longer approach, okay, to be more efficient with it. Next, this is for someone who wants to get there fast and can think long-term of what they're trying to accomplish, okay? So there's gonna be a point during this, probably, your first time going through this, where you want to give up, where you're like, this sucks. I don't want to do this strategy anymore. But that's usually a bad thing because you're going to waste a lot of money and only get halfway there. Again, it's kind of like going up a mountain halfway and never reaching the peak and just falling right back down, where all the rewards, all the riches were at the mountain if you just kept pushing forward. So we need to think long-term here and not just, short-term, where it's like, okay, this is a month of pain. I can't handle that month. And you pull the string in 2 weeks. All right. Next, this could fail. All right. So again, a little disclaimer here, especially if you don't plan ahead and if you cut it off too soon, like I just talked about, right? This is a momentum strategy. And since things are happening so fast, you want to have a plan in place, have it all prepared to go. That way you can capture that momentum as fast as possible and get there as fast as possible. Of course, I'll be breaking down all the plans, all the details for this during this video. Next, but this is how I personally rank products the fastest and the quickest. So when I am being aggressive, this is what I do. Okay, so I plan this out, I go after it, I get there as fast as I can, I squeeze out all competitors, and I rank to the top spots. Then I have pricing power, and then I can put my price to whatever I need it to be to collect those 30 to 40% margins, and I'm ranked in the top spots, so I'm getting that organic traffic coming in. So during this, we'll be talking about reviews, advertising, external traffic, conversion rates. It goes down in all the dirty little details here. So we'll get to those points. But the first thing we need to take away here, the first kind of foundation of this strategy is that we'll be using break-even prices well below the competitors to push volume. Okay. So hang with me here. I'll explain this all here in a bit with an example with the product, everything like that. So why do we want to do this, right? So why do we do this? Because you have no reviews. You're just starting out. Okay. So the only competitive advantage you have is your price, as price and reviews are the main driver of conversion rate. Of course, if you have terrible photos, listings, this can negate this, right? If you have, terrible photos that just look like you took them in your basement. This will, even if your price is $2 or whatever it is, it's probably not going to do very well because people are like, this looks like a scam, right? So we need to have good assets in place for this to even work. But if all the X's and O's are taken care of, price and reviews are the main driver of conversion rates, okay? So reviews being the social proof and price being, I want the cheapest good possible. So when we first start and have 0 reviews and our competitor has 500 reviews, okay, this is how you kind of make up that difference, okay? So with this strategy, our goal is to outpace the competitors to help us rank organically. Okay, we'll go deeper into that, which leads to more sales, and then outpace and catch up in reviews. So say you have a product similar to a competitor and they have 400 reviews and you have 0. You have no social proof, right? No reviews. Even if your product is better, they won't know that or believe that until your reviews prove that. Okay. So that's kind of the catch-22. Like, I wish we could just have an Amazon product. I should say it this way. I wish customers knew, even if it's 0 reviews, your product is better. Okay. In a perfect world, the better product should always win. But on Amazon, that's not the case. Okay. It comes down to cheapest price, where you're ranking, and the number of reviews and the quality of reviews. Because customers don't know you have the better product until they actually get it in their hands. So we have to get it in their hands to know this, then eventually get reviews to prove that, okay? Who wants to take a flyer on a 0 review product versus something that has a 4.5 star rating and 400 reviews, okay? To me, like, I'm not gonna take that risk. I want the product to here. I don't wanna mess with the returns. I don't wanna get a crap product. I just want it over with, right? So once we have these reviews and ranking to back up our product, then we can raise our price and start sucking in the profit, okay? It's kind of like a curve here. So we drop down really fast here, we shoot up in rankings, and we get to a point of no return, then we could slowly raise our price up and start sucking in profits fast, right? This is a bang, bang play where it's like sales, 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 sales. And then all of a sudden we're in a spot in the Amazon's ranking system with reviews, the top keywords, and all of a sudden we can raise our price and that traffic stays the same, okay? And all of a sudden you're sucking in all this profit. I'm getting ahead of myself here. So if this is confusing, we have a lot more to break down here, okay? But to make this work, you have to plan it properly so you get there fast and don't waste time, okay? In this case, the more time it takes you, the more money you have to spend, okay? Because, you know, we're dropping our prices, pushing things. If we don't execute properly, we have to take more time to get there, okay? So how do we plan this? So the basic way, we take the sales per month of top competitors and know you have to outsell them to outrank them. So if they're doing 500 per month, that's the end goal for you to do the same to rank alongside them, okay? So if they're doing 500 products per month, we need 510 per month to outpace them and to outrank them. When we break down the Amazon algorithm to simple forms, that's it. We outsell the competitors on those keywords. So they're doing 500 per month, we need to do 510 a month for a period of time to outrank them, to tell Amazon, like, no, we're the top seller in this category on these keywords. So in this case, since you'll be moving product faster, you want to get a bit more inventory than just 3 months, right? The kind of word on the street is to get 3 months of inventory. In this case, you're going to want a little bit more. So probably 4 to 6 months of inventory. So if it's 500 per month is the goal, 4 months of inventory will be 2,000 units, 6 months of inventory will be 3,000 units. And I would recommend you don't have to send these all in once. You can keep at home, you know, at your house if you live in the country you're selling in, or at a third-party warehouse in the country you're selling in, to go ahead and replenish those quickly. So you can put like 2 or 3 months in and just kind of trickle in the rest of the inventory while you're doing this, okay? So breaking down an example product here, right? So say we have $10 cost of goods sold, which is, you know, the price per unit as well as the price per shipping per unit. So say it's $10 in total to get a unit shipped over, as well as the shipping to get into Amazon's warehouse. Then let's say the Amazon fees are $10 as well, so the referral fee and the FBA fees. And the competitors that you're competing with are all priced at $30. So if you did $30 as well, you'd have a healthy, pretty fat margin for Amazon. But for this case, you would price your product around $20. Okay, so you $10 under the competitors, right? So this is where you have 0 reviews, they have 400, 500, whatever it may be, but you're cheaper. So this is what's going to drive initial traffic. Like, I'll take a flyer on this product, it's $10 less. And then since we had that competitive advantage on price, we can now compete in sales volume. So we push volume quickly to start outranking them, to get to their pace, to get more reviews faster because we're at a higher sales velocity now. So essentially we're artificially lowering our price to match their sales volume, to match everything, to get there quicker, to catch up with the reviews. So we don't have to wait, 6 months, a year to get 100, 200 reviews while they take their 400 reviews and get to 800 reviews, right? We're trying to catch them fast to even the playing field. So when we do put our price at $30 in the future, we now have a product that has, great reviews, It's been ranking up there. We matched the sales velocity, and now we're on the even playing field. So we're just catching up really quickly. So during this, we definitely need to be using Amazon PPC. Again, this is why I'm saying this is not for the lighthearted or people who spent their entire budget on this product to begin with, because we have to spend some advertising still to catch up, right? Because no one knows who we are, probably on page 15, page 4. So we still, even if the price is lower, we need to send in initial traffic to our listing because no one could find it. So not only are you losing out on the $10 profit margin, you're also putting money into PPC. And just because I said $20 to put your price at to break even prices, you can have a mix of this, right? Maybe you do $25. That way you have a $5 margin, right? You're still $5 below the competition. Then you have a $5 buffer for PPC, okay? But when I'm being really aggressive, I'm taking it to break even. And I'm just considering this, planning for this, and knowing it's going to hurt, but I have a budget set aside. I have a plan put in place. So this is all part of my master plan to get there faster. So we need to push initial traffic since we have no ranking at the moment, okay? Even though we are being aggressive, we want to start somewhat slower here. So Amazon PPC, so we can get data first, then we can be aggressive with the right keywords. And what I mean by this is when you first set up campaigns, I wouldn't put $100 budgets. I wouldn't put $200 budgets right out the gate. I'd still probably only start with $30 a day or so for maybe a week or two, because we don't know what keywords are going to work. So by collecting slowly 2 weeks of data or so, we can quickly identify these are our best terms. They're converting the highest. They have the best ACoS as well. And so now we have that data. If we want to put $100, $200 into budget, be super aggressive, we can then just take those keywords and double down on those. So we're not wasting a bunch of money on keywords that aren't converting. Okay. The problem is if you start with 200, that $200 will be going to those keywords that are not converting. Okay. Then the keywords that have lower ACoS relative to others, okay, because they're not going to be perfect at first. You have 0 reviews, right? But you should be able to push some traffic and sales because of the competitive advantage from your price point. Okay. Higher conversion rates. So we're looking for keywords with lower ACoS, higher conversion rate, and a top 10 search volume. Okay. Depending on the keyword, it could be top 15 search volume, top 20. It just, again, depends on how big the market is. Then you can push these using bid placement bids. So I know this isn't English for everybody out here, but essentially what we're doing is we can go into our search term reports or our Amazon PPC dashboard, go there with our 2 weeks of test data, go see the conversion rate, go see the lower ACoS, okay? Then we could take those keywords, put them in a different campaign that are performing the best, okay, the ones we want to target. Then we put them in our own campaign, exact campaigns, and then put a bid placement bid on top of those. What a bid placement bid is essentially you're telling Amazon, I'm willing to pay 50%, 100%, you can select this yourself, more than my actual bid to be in the top PPC spot. Okay, so again, more aggressive. You're going to be up where the traffic is. You're going to be in the top selections on top of the page. Okay, these are less efficient for sure. So that's why we want the right keywords here, because we're going to be burning money very quickly. But again, if we set aside $50 to $100 a budget per day for this aggressive strategy, we want to do it on the keywords that convert the best. So if we use all the money just for those keywords, essentially we can rank faster for those because we'll be getting more sales for those. And the sooner we start getting top 3 organic rankings for certain keywords, the more organic sales that are pour in, those organic sales from those top keywords will start raising our BSR or ranking in general terms for the rest of the keywords that we index for. Okay, so take lemon squeezer for example here. Maybe we're ranking high on lime squeezer, which is a second, third, fourth tier keyword for lemon squeezer, where lemon squeezer gets 100,000 searches per month, lime squeezer gets 10,000 searches per month. Say that one's performing well on PPC, so we double down on that, do bid placement. We start getting a ton of sales for the word lime squeezer. In a few weeks we rank to the top 5 spot. Organic sales from that organic search start pouring in as well because our listing is ranked organically, right? I say organic like 700 times here, but I'm just trying to be clear with this. So those sales will start pouring in that keyword, and use a generic phrase here, all tides lift boats. I'm probably getting that wrong, but you understand what I'm saying. So the tide of the lime squeezer keyword converting for you is lifting your ranking up for other keywords because you have more sales volume, more sales velocity. Okay, I told you this wouldn't be very simple. It's a little bit more complex, but again, this might be why you need to watch it again, rewatch it, learn a little bit more, come back to it, you take notes, everything like that. So essentially we're just doubling down on the keywords that are working and we're just attacking one by one. Okay, we ranked top spot for this keyword, then we're on to the next one. Okay, so this is great. PPC is a great indicator because the data is so clear, the targeting is so clear and precise that you're going to rank higher if you get some traction going there. But since this is burning money, We want to get there faster. And the quickest way to lift all boats is external traffic. Okay. So external traffic is anything that you send traffic from, say, TikTok, Facebook, to your Amazon listing. So off Amazon platforms, and you're sending traffic to your Amazon listing. So if we do this, this is definitely going to expedite the process to get to the top ranking positions so we can eventually raise our price and start making profits. So the ways we can do this: influencers. This could be Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, blogs, Amazon. If you don't know much about influencers, you can actually go to platforms, go to services, and they can find you influencers for your products, okay? You can also do this the manual way. You can reach out to them. IG DMs, Facebook messages, emails, right? You can go find their personal information, reach out, say, hey, I have this product. I'm willing to give it to you for free. I want you to check it out if you like it. I would love to pay for some posts, some stories, reels, whatever it may be, with your Amazon link to push traffic your way. So just like PPC, take this same strategy here. We don't know what influencers are going to work. So we're testing 5 out. Do lower budgets at first. Do micro influencers, which just mean, they don't have 1 million followers, right? They maybe have 5,000, 10,000 followers. So we're paying, $100, $200 a post instead of, 10,000 or 5,000 or 3,000, because those can come up empty. Okay. So we test out 5 to 10 different ones. One of them's working. And so we double down on that one and go hard. Okay. Next, we have paid ads. So we can do paid ads, send traffic in. Some of this is definitely too expensive for my taste. I don't like Facebook or IG ads very much because they're so pricey. They don't work very well. But depending on the product, Pinterest, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, Google Shopping ads, these can all drive traffic to your listing with a little bit more control of what's going on. But of course, there is a learning curve with this stuff. So again, take it slow, just like PPC, kind of learn and double down on what's working. Okay. Next, we have organic social media, which is probably my favorite. So you can go pay someone to make video content for you, or you can make it yourself and start posting on your own branded TikTok, YouTube Shorts, IG Reels. You could do even long form YouTube videos, things like that. The cool thing about TikTok, or I should say just short form content in general, if we make one short form video, we can post this on TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and IG Reels, right? It's the same thing. It's just a short term video. So we have 3 different platforms we have content for, okay, which triples our chance to get exposure, traffic, everything like that. To give you a little example here, we have someone in my AWA client group here that is doing Twitter ads, right? The product fits, it's perfect for Twitter. And for about $40 a week, he's driving external traffic to his listing. He went from 4 to 5, 6 sales a day to 40 to 50 sales per day. Okay. Cause eventually Amazon's like, okay, this guy's sending external traffic. They love it. Okay. So when you're sending traffic your way, even if it's not converting well, they're going to raise your rankings across the board for the keywords you're indexing for. Okay. So organic social media is probably my favorite just because it's more bootstrapped. It is a bit more work than it'd be influencers, than it'd be paid ads. All right. Next, let's talk about reviews. Okay. So making sure we have review requests on Seller Central. All this is, if we go to our manage orders, click into an order ID, essentially, we can see, the customer who ordered. And then we could request a review on the behalf of Amazon, essentially, right? So in the app, they'll get a little prompt or maybe an email, whatever it may be. This is something we need to be doing and automating. You could do this with seller.tools. You could do this with Helium 10, but essentially making sure that every order that gets through after a week or so is getting a review request on the back end of Amazon. Okay. Next, Vine program. Obviously, you need trademark and brand registry. If you don't plan on doing brand registry, you probably shouldn't be doing this strategy anyways, because you don't believe long-term in your product. Because we'll want things like A+ content, videos on the listing, potentially video ads, and we need brand registry to do this. The Vine program is part of the brand registry process. It just allows you to get 30 extra reviews, give 30 of your products away to Amazon customers and to get reviews, right? Reviews are gold here. The quicker we match our competition's reviews, the better. That's when we can kind of lay off, start reaping in the profit. Okay. Next, we got friends and family. And I say friends and family because we're going to need every strategy possible to scratch and claw and get reviews the fastest so we can stop the strategy and start raking in profits. Okay. Next could be a community. So if you're in some type of Amazon community that are giving out reviews, just be careful with this, right? Because we have people, bad eggs that copy products, but we do a little bit of this in our group just because we all trust each other, and you can do this at your own risk as well. But again, scratch and claw for every review you can get. Next, the review system, right? If you're doing things on IG, you can DM people, customers that are bought, and you kind of track the system. It's a little bit more advanced and something that would need a little bit more trial and error. But essentially all we're trying to do is somehow capture whoever's buying on Amazon outside of Amazon so we can talk to them and say, hey, what's going on? Did you like the product? Can you leave us a review, right? This could be as simple as a QR code on your product insert for a lead magnet, or just a PDF guide on something about your product or something about the niche of your product. And the QR code takes it to a website where they put their email in. And now you have an email for everybody who got that lead magnet or that guide. And you know they bought your product, because to get that QR code, they had to get it from Amazon. And so now you know they bought the product, and you can go reach out and ask for a review, 4 or 5 days later. Okay, that's a review system in my book. It's a pretty generic term, but essentially just some type of system to collect the information outside of Amazon for your customers so you can ask for reviews. Okay, so we can be more aggressive with reviews since we have more sales velocity, right? Our review ratio will be much healthier. Okay, if you're only doing 2 sales a day and you get 5 reviews, your review ratio is going to be off the charts. That's going to red flag Amazon. But since we're pushing volume with our lower price, we can get reviews more aggressively. Okay, if we do 100 sales and get 5 reviews, that's a 5% review ratio. That's super healthy. Okay, so with a higher sales velocity, we can push reviews a lot faster. Okay, that's another beautiful thing about this. Some other crucial tips when we're doing this. Okay, so 1, track organic keywords. We can do this with Keyword Tracker inside Helium 10. If you need a discount code, it's in the description down below if you want to save some money, but you can do this with Jungle Scout, Viral Launch, a ton of other different tools. So just make sure you're doing it in some capacity, right? So if we have a lemon squeezer here, we can literally see where we're ranking, top 1, top 5, top 3 here, 31. This is important because we're tracking our goal. Our goal is to rank high organically to push that traffic in for full price sales. So eventually we can raise our price and collect these sales when we have a higher margin, right? So this is the number 1 data set we need to be looking at, because this is our guide to the top spots. And so if we're spending all this money and we don't see after 2 weeks we're moving up for keywords, then it's like, crap, like what are we doing here? Okay. But if we see that, every week we move up 4 spots, 5 spots, and this is going to go up and down, right? So I click on this, you can see it's going to go up and down. It's not going to be perfect, especially when you first start. And so give it some time, come back every week and look at it. Don't panic if one day you're up 20 spots and the next day you're down 40. This is normal when you first begin, because Amazon knows you're a new product. They don't know where to rank you yet. Your sales history is young. And so you just need more volume over time to push these rankings up. But this is our guide, right? Because we need to push these up to top 5 spots to know we're kind of complete with what we're trying to do. Next, track profit. We could do this with Helium 10 or any other app. This is going to hurt, but you need the truth just to see if there's anything else that's eating up margin essentially. So yes, your margins are going to be down. You're going to feel that, you're going to see that, but at least you know what's going on. And then if there's anything else going on, maybe Amazon's charging you extra for FBA fees. So you can go back there, fix that issue, request a Cuba scan, and making sure you're getting the help you need there to help essentially your margins as best you can during that process. Next, track order session percentage, which is their fancy term for conversion rate. We could do this in business reports and make improvements to the listing. Okay, so if our conversion rate's super low, we need to be improving the photos, the title, the listing, everything like that to get our conversion rate up higher, right? The higher the conversion rate, the quicker this process will blow up. Okay, because if we double our conversion rate, say from 4% to 8%, our ACoS literally cuts in half. Amazon uses conversion rate to rank you, right? Because they want to convert customers. So if we're converting higher for Lemon Squeezer than everybody else, then that's going to help our ranking juice to get up there, because it's going to say, hey, if someone searches this product is converting the best, so it's the most congruent product for this term, this will give our customers a better experience and they'll check out more, which makes us money. Okay. We could do A/B testing as well, which is if you go to brand in your menu on Seller Central, go to manage experiments. We could do A/B testing where we test a different main image, a different title. Amazon will give us the data to say, hey, this one's performing better. Let's use this one. All these little adjustments will help your conversion rate. And over time, you want to see this conversion rate moving from whatever it is, 4%, 5% to hopefully above 10% by the time you're done with this. That is the goal there. That's a healthy rate on Amazon. Depending on the category, clothing, you're going to see a lot less. Decor stuff, you're going to see a lot less. But for utility items, you should be well over 10% by the time you're done with this and wanting to cut things off. Next is Amazon attribution links and brand referral bonus. This is cool. Again, brand registry, you're going to need all this to make sure that you can use all these tools we're talking about. But Amazon attribution links are special links you can make on Amazon for your external traffic to track the progress and the results of, you say, an Instagram influencer, a TikTok post, everything like that. So you can make special links that direct to your product and put them on certain platforms. Then you'll know, because you titled them, how they're performing. So you can double down on what's working. So this is the way to track this, okay? If you do this, you can also apply for the brand referral bonus. So any outside traffic that converts, and you apply for brand referral bonus, you'll save 10% on your referral fees. This is massive when you have such non-existent margins during this strategy. So anytime we can save, a little bit of money here and there, that's huge at scale when we're doing this type of strategy. Okay, so onto the juice here. So end goal. So our end goal is to get to the top ranking for your top keywords so you have organic traffic. Scratch and claw for every review possible to get closer to your competition when it comes to reviews. The cool thing too, say you get to 100 reviews, your goal is 200 or so, you're going to see a boost in conversion rate because it's more social proof. Okay. When you have steadily been in the top spots for weeks and your reviews are competitive, then you can slowly raise your price over the weeks to bolster your profit margin. Okay, key is here, slowly raise the price. Don't go from $20 to $30. Amazon hates this. They think it's price gouging. So they could take away your buy box. They'll drop your BSR rankings. So what you do if you're at $20, your goal is $30, every 2 weeks, just raise it $1, right? Or every week, raise it $1 and watch what happens too. Because as you raise your price, that competitive advantage goes away on the price level and you could drop back down. Okay, this is a good key indicator. If you raise your price and nothing happens, you're staying steady. Well, okay, you're ready to move back up. This is what we've been working for. Okay, everything stays the same. You raise it $1 and all of a sudden your profit margin starts to inch up a little bit. So we raise slowly to not drop our BSR too fast, which essentially is a fancy word saying that if you go from $20 to $30, your top one for a spot, you could drop back down below 10 or so. So we slowly raise the price, keep that volume up. Your BSR will level again from that price change. Then we do it again, then we do it again, then we do it again. So it's a slow process. So since you're in the organic top spots, you have more momentum than others to stay there and to capture that traffic. Okay, so our key is to kind of stay in these top spots. When you raise your price, wait a week or two to see if you remain in those spots. If yes, raise a little again and repeat, which I just talked about. So if you drop quickly with a price increase, then you might need to lower your price down again. Keep pushing reviews until you have the assets to stay in the top spots for pricing power. What I mean by this is essentially the pricing change is your test component to see if this process is over for you, right? Because if we can raise our price and nothing changes, then we're where we need to be, essentially. But if we raise our price and we go back to where we were before, then it's pretty much all for nothing because we can't just raise to $30, increase our price by $10, then drop to spot 30 or 20. It's almost like nothing's happened. So this is kind of a be-all strategy where you have to see the whole process through or it's for nothing. I shouldn't say nothing because if you end up with 200, 300 reviews from this, you're going to be sitting pretty good, right? So that's kind of the cool thing from here is you're going to get reviews fast. You're going to get some sales history from this as well. But the pricing changes and watching the data is kind of your leveler, right? So it's just kind of like you raise the price, see what happens here. It stabilizes after 2 weeks. I can't see my hand, but stabilizes after 2 weeks. Okay, then raise it again. This fluctuates a little bit and then it steadies. Raise it again, fluctuates a little bit. Oh, I didn't like that. So we drop it back down. We chill out here for a bit with our, $3 margins, $4 margins, whatever it is. And we keep bolstering the listing, bolstering the reviews and the sales ranking. And then after, if that takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it is, then we do it again, stabilizes. Okay. All the way up till we get to $30 or our price target. Okay. So I know that's a lot. There's a lot to that. Watch this again if you have to. Also, leave me any comments down below if you have questions about this process in general, certain aspects. I covered a lot, and this could be a 12-hour video if I went into detail in every little aspect of this. So I may not get back to your comments, but I'll definitely read them. So maybe I can make potentially more videos on certain topics that you guys want more help with in the future. So definitely leave comments there. And of course, to see those videos, make sure you subscribe so you know when they come out and you can watch those. Otherwise, guys, I hope this helps. I have videos on a lot of these topics like brand registry, Amazon attribution links, everything like that. So just go search my name as well as that topic, and that should pop up for you. Good luck out there. This is a more aggressive strategy, not for the faint heart. Hopefully you can take away a little tidbits if you take a more passive approach, which is a less risky approach. So hopefully this was helpful for anybody, depending on what strategy they're doing. Cool, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.